I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not even going to be around the bush. I'm all about accountability. I'm all for it. And I'm all about, for us as individuals, that we have to make sure that we are safe because, believe it or not, we have a lot to lose. Let me break it down to you. Have you been in a situation before where, like, you got into an argument, right? It got as far as you got into a fight, and let's say we were in elementary school. It could be in middle school. Middle school, good example. And you got into a fight, and then there were consequences where you had to go be suspended from school. I'm talking for being in the United States. I don't know how it was like overseas, anywhere else, because I went to school. In spite of me being from the Caribbean, my parents are Caribbean. Of course, I grew up in a Caribbean household, but at the same time, I grew up in the United States with Caribbean parents, and you got suspended. For my little brothers, from what I've heard, now times have changed. Cops got involved, get arrested. Okay, we use that as an example. And what happened? You sat there and you just thought about it twice. You're like, dang, I'm gonna get my parents mad. You're gonna get disciplined. You may gonna go home to a big beating. You may gonna get things taken away. And you felt like that was the end of the world. But as you got older, you learned your lesson, and you learn as you got older to avoid fights, arguments, because you find things much more peaceful. It's the same thing in these times now, especially us as being adults. If you're 18 and over, if you're watching my videos, but more likely in the 21, 25 frame and up, there's a lot for all of us in these times that we have to be very, very careful. I'm saying this out of experience and based on from my views and what I'm seeing in this world right now. And what I'm going to talk about, mental health. People are suffering from mental health. And what I mean is that a lot of people, they're not thinking about tomorrow. They're not thinking about 10, 15 years from now. They're ready to delete you from a drop of a finger. They're just ready. Long time ago, I used to always think like, okay, you know what? For example, it's only guys that was doing it. Now it's to the point now, ladies, women are really doing this. And I'm not talking about for you watching this video. Before I get into the video, let me introduce myself as Gene, your best friend, your new best friend, and I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. Be careful, man. I'm telling y'all, be careful because most people are ready to delete people because mental health. People are suffering from mental health. Most people that they're not venting out to other people to talk to because if you don't have a strong mind and you're not capable of, and I'm not saying these people are weak because we don't know, but people are triggered by anything. You could be a person that's just minding your own business, but that person who's triggered and that's been holding so much inside, you may look like a person that they had some type of beef or somebody did dirty to them, or you could have just said something and just from a snap of a finger. Now, I'm not saying for you, hear me out, I'm not saying for you to be a punk and just walk away and like the great late Martin Luther King said, he slapped the right cheek, turned the left cheek, and then let them slap you out, not word for word. I'm not saying that. But from what I'm seeing right now, especially me being in the city, being in New York, being in the East Coast, I ask myself this question and I really see like why I'm so much into myself and I'm not really focused on anyone else. Like it's to the point I'm like that girl in that movie. Using this as an example, I get home from work, wherever I'm doing, and I'm running home. Doors locked. It's not that I'm scared, but it's just that I'm very well aware of my surroundings. And I'm not afraid to what somebody can do to me. I'm afraid what I can do to them. I'm gonna make that clear. But where I'm going right now, in these times, most people are not taking no accountability. Like I said, they're triggered, and this is where I'm going for it. In this world that we live in now, in this generation, current generation, I ask myself, if I was to retaliate or do anything, and something happened where somebody started with me, is there a law, a self-defense law that can protect me? Is there? Because, like I said, I'm in the city so much, and I've been listening to people. I've come across certain people, and they've getting in such situations where it wasn't their fault, but they had to make sure. And how can I say it? What is the word? I just had it in my head. They gotta look out for themselves and be careful. It could be something as little as an argument, somebody trying to say something to you, somebody's trying to bother you. If that's the case, I'll just say walk away. Walk away. I made this video in a way because I don't like to see good people get treated bad. I don't like to see good people suffer. You're watching my video because you could relate to me. I know that I'm a good person. I know who I am as an individual, and I know when I grew up, when I was a lot more younger. Yo, me personally, I was hot-headed. And this one thing what I used to do when I was younger, I used to hustle. I used to make a little money here and there. How I used to rake leaves. I used to go and knock people's doors, boom, 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 and say, "Hi, how you doing? My name is Gene. I remember just like yesterday, I used to do that, and I used to be, hey, would you like me to rake your leaves?" If they say no, they say no. If they say yeah, and they ask me how much, and I remember it was this at the time, it was this beautiful older woman, and she would ask me something to eat. I used to always rake her leaves, and I'm giving you a scenario. I'm breaking it down to you. I'm picturing you seeing a little, your best friend Gene when he was younger. I'm giving you a scenario. And I remember she would tell me, she was like, hey, what grade are you in? I'll tell her I'm in high school. At the time, I was in 10th grade, and she was telling me that she worked for the prison system. I sat there, I'm like, okay. I never thought too much about it because I'm just so into it. And she was telling me, it's sort of like she read me from a mile away. And she told me she admired me because most young men my age were in the streets at the time, And she told me, a young man like you, there's a lot of you in jail. And I looked at her, I'm like, I'm raking the leaves. I didn't understand what she was talking about. I said, yeah, why? She said, a lot of young men like you that are good and that are kind and respectful, at your age, a lot of people try to trigger you, especially your age, or they're trying to bully you, and you hold so much inside, and one day you just snap. And there's a lot of good kids your age in jail. And I didn't really understand why she was telling me this. And I'm like, yo, and she was telling me it's really important for you. If you have any issues, you have any problems, it's good to just go talk to someone. Or just don't be afraid to just let somebody know it's bothering you. Now, at the time, I didn't have nobody that was bothering me, but I do agree that I would have friends, they'll talk behind my back, but nothing so much in a way where people would try to come and try to, you know what I mean? But I say this, fast forward now, I'm in my 30s, and I can remember this conversation because in these times right now, I imagine myself as that young boy, and I'm finding myself as an individual that's really focused and that's really in tune with himself. I'm getting a lot of problems with people. For one, I'm really big into spirituality. I'm praying every day. Of course, we go through challenges just like anybody else. And at any moment, if I'm not working on myself and getting myself together mentally, anything could happen, right? But for the grace of God, you know, I'm always praying. I'm always talking to, I got good people around me I'm talking to. You know, I'm doing okay for myself mentally. Because, you know, and financially, I'm getting myself together. I'm doing all right. But where I'm going with this is this. I'm sure a lot of you that are watching this video that you can relate to me. It don't even matter if you're a female, you're a male, you're a young boy. If you're going through something, some type of hurt, people are talking to, there's nothing wrong with talking to somebody. Now, I know it's very easy for me to tell you this, you know, through a video, but I have this in my heart to tell you this because it's like, yo, mental health is in an all-time high. We have people that are going through trauma, you know, and it could be, it's sad though, it's the ones that's closest to you that's actually doing it to you. You'll have a stranger that will trying to come and trigger you. Like the other day, when was it? Last week, 2 weeks ago, last week. Somebody came up to me. I see this person all the time. I could tell there's something off about him. I'm gonna share this with y'all because, you know, I don't have no issues. You know, I usually humility. I mean, I'm a grown man. You know what I mean? Whoever, you can say what you want to say. You know what I mean? Person came up to me and was like, I see this person all the time. I seen this person for years. I could tell he's off, smoking all the time. You could tell he has a book bag in his hand. And he came up to me one time and trying to come to me, and I moved out the way, but I could tell like he was something that was off about him. I say hi to him sometimes. He said hi. He's on I don't know if left. When was it? Last week, came up to me trying to start trouble with me, trying to be like, yo, hey, you spit on me. This that. I look at him. I'm like, whoa, that's on. Yo, relax. Yo, relax. I said, you got the wrong person. Now, he looked at me. He looked at me. I said, yo, I see you all the time. I say hi to you. I don't think there's any kind of issue that we can have. He looked at me like, okay, go on. And then he turned around and walked off. And as I turned around, I'm like, whoa, I'm kind of confused. I'm like, what? The area that he was walking into, we could tell like he was, you find a lot of mentally challenging people. I mean, I don't know how to say it, but people that are kind of, you know, going through it, you know? So I said, okay, I get it. Now, just imagine if I was to get triggered and try to argue with this person. You don't know. And the thing is, you could be a good person. In this generation we living in now, there's no self-defense. But all I'm saying is this. Be careful. Walk away. There's nothing wrong with walking away. Protect your energy. Protect yourself. Whatever you believe in, put your energy into that. Focus on it. And anything you believe, it'll happen in a positive way. All right? Don't let negativity get to you, because, like I said, a lot of times we have a lot of a lot of people that are going through things, and you don't want that energy on you. Focus on what you need to focus on and be the best version of yourself. And whatever you're going through is just temporary, all right? So if you like this video, you like what I just said to you, I invite you guys to please like, share, and subscribe to your best friend, your new best friend. And also, in a comment below, comment pin to the top. Description below, comment pin to the top. Always gonna start up. Keep up with the latest luxury styles and trends at gorgeous271.com, all right? All right? So again, this is Gene, your best friend, your new best friend. I'll see you on the next video. Don't let people get to you, all right? It had nothing to do with you. It has a lot to do with them. Avoid problems at all costs, all right? Peace.